Left-hand side 3-bet Landon. 8-9 deuce board. 2 clubs. D-negs. 3 bets. C-bets flop. Deuce on the turn. Seems like a better card for Daniel Negreanu. He's got those over pairs. He's going to have, I mean, we've seen these guys
over pairs,
very
combo draws, Jack 10,
yeah,
10-7.
Very wide 3-bet ranges from these guys all around. Daniel checks. Surprised by check in there on the deuce?
Depends on his combo. Like aces is a pretty high frequency check because you unblock his floats on flop that do continue on the turn for a bluff.
Oh, I see. So you're saying,
but hands like tens, jacks need more protection. We'll just be jamming here on the turn a lot of the time.
So if you're jamming tens and jacks in the turn, you're also jamming in your semi-bluffs too?
Jack 10, flush draws.
Okay. So Jack 10, flush draws, over pairs.
Yeah.
Are you breaking it down with like just two, one size 1.5x jam, or?
You can go like third. They like a mix between third and jam because like the stack to pots can be a little bit weird on rivers. But I would mostly like lean towards checking with over pairs that have a club in my hand versus not. Because it's less likely that, at least it's more likely like they have a stab, without a club, but they're going to have a lot of, it's more likely they have a value hand if you have a club in your hand.
Interesting. Well, Doug does decide to bet 13.7 thousand here. Let's see if Daniel does have one of those over pairs potentially. That makes a lot of sense what you're saying. I mean, you don't think about it right away, but having that club in your hand versus not having the club in your hand might make the difference between checking or betting on this type of board texture. So river, it gets down.
Doug goes for a raise on the right-hand side here.
Yeah, interesting. On the river, representing King 10. So you can see that gut shot straight draw gets there. Left-hand side, Doug Polk bets again, takes it down. Doug Polk is micro stakes. I'll give you a little intro on two of our players here. If you're new to poker, you don't know them that well. So D-Nex gets raised on the right-hand side. Bets out pretty big, 3/4 pot. Doug's essentially only representing here King 10. Of course, could have some...
King 10, some Queen Jack, some 2 pairs, and... hands to unblock the ace for like the single 1-pair bluff catchers. But
so you think what Doug's raising range on the river here is any 2-pair?
Depends on the 2-pair. It's better if it doesn't have an ace because like Daniel's bluff catchers would be exactly like that. Doug turned.
What is this pot limit? Omaha, the great game.
Doug turned the nut blockers.
Did Doug just turn aces into kings into a? I was gonna say there's no way he's got kings or tens because we're not playing. Omaha.
I think it's time to go to the
I think it was possible for someone to try to turn kings into bluffs at Nolan. What a play. Well,
you guys know how it is when your mom calls you, okay?
Yeah, you don't answer. Right-hand side.
You don't answer, huh?
Doug Polk, big check raise at 999. Here we go, guys. I feel like this is something where Daniel just folds anyway, but might have a little something brewing here. Right-hand side, Doug Polk goes for the big check raise, telling Daniel that he's got quad nines. If he does have quad nines, let's see what he's going to do here. Daniel calls quickly, calling with his pairs. Going to have some overcards, ace highs, ace queen, ace jack.
Yep.
Could have a 9 as well, too. He gets calls once again.
So Doug's bluffs in this case. Doug might just jam here for like 3x pot.
No way he's jamming.
Well,
if he jams again, I'm playing another tournament.
If he has aces, if Doug is a 9, right, and wants to get paid by aces, he's just going to jam.
Well, he does not jam. Luckily, he bets 1/3 pot.
So most of Doug's bluffs here are going to contain the cards wrapping around a 9. Oh, there's aces. There it is. Doug just kind of went for it.
You need to understand that everything you do at the poker table conveys information.
So Doug check raises the jack deuce. It's kind of by a 9. I see what you're saying. Daniel's got aces. Doug bets very small on the river.
Well, he had a deuce, which is an unblocker, an unblocker to ace high that calls twice.
Okay.
He tried to make ace high indifferent on river, so you want to have an unblocker to ace x hands.
So he also did have a full house there too. So he turned the full house.
Doug had a deuce.
Doug had a deuce. Yeah.
Yeah, Doug tried to get paid by ace high.
Right. That makes sense on the river.
Yeah.
Do you think he would have bluffed the river if he didn't pick up that full house?
I think it's very possible. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Doug is not a man to give up.
Left-hand side, Doug 3-bet pre-flop gets called. Right-hand side, Daniel does show up with that ace. Weak ace, ace 5 of clubs. Takes down a $13,000 pot himself.
Weak ace is good.
Left-hand side, Doug 3-bet.
Bets, and then he's using the Daniel size, but instead of the 6K, 6.2, he's using the like 60% pot.
Mm-hmm.
On the king, he's going to want to check a lot or also kind of bet small at range, like third, because he just has more king X that's stopped for the bigger size, and Daniel has that continues.
Let's see if Doug does go with that third pot. Nope, he goes
half pot.
A little bit bigger than half pot. Landon, what do you think about that one?
It lowers the SPR is going to be weird on the river. because if Daniel calls, he's gonna have 22 behind and like 39.
Wow.
So, yeah, like this. So this is what you would call interesting. It's interesting.
Doug Polk attempting to back up the truck for the first time. If he's got that ace, king, king, queen, aces, probably going to see him jam this river. He does check. Says he's full of shit. Says he's got nothing. Could have a hand like an 8, 8, 7, 6s. Ah, wow. Daniel Negreanu.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I think he wants to check a good bit or bet smaller.
On that turn, you're saying?
Yeah.
Right-hand side, check back flop by D-Negs. Doug's going to lead the turn. Once again, Daniel calls. He's going to have a lot of one club type of hands in his range. Sometimes have a pair. I mean, any 10-plus club, most likely going to be calling the turn with. So Doug goes for that small river bet. Let's see what Daniel does. He's going to show up with a flush here. Occasionally, he does raise. We've seen him be capable of checking back flush draws on the turn, on the flop rather, just calling on the turn to be able to do this on the river, protect his river range. Seems like if he's saving most of his flushes to raise the river, then Doug can do this at a pretty high frequency because his range isn't going to be that strong. So Daniel does raise. See how Doug Polk reacts here. Very interesting spot. What's Doug's bottom of his calling range right here? Is it 2 pairs? If he has 8, 9, maybe 9, 6, 8, 6, 4, 6. Of course, he's going to have straights here too. Going to show up with some flush. He does call, and Daniel Negreanu does check back that 5, 7 of clubs. Very nice play by Daniel. Shows up with the flush on the river. And yeah, that's what we said he's capable of doing, right? We've seen that happen last time. Doug went with that small bet on rivers. Daniel raised them multiple times. Once again, shows up with the goods. So just because he checks back the flop, slow plays the turn, doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't have those very strong hands on the river. Left-hand side, Daniel raises with the king 3. Nice play by Daniel.
Get the sound effect going. Daniel sound.
Wow, that's a Daniel bossing it up there for a couple hands. Nice play by Daniel Negreanu. D-Gen Thanksgiving. That'd be fun. Right-hand side.
D-Gen Thanksgiving.
Listen, I just want to use the new effect, guys, okay? So let's pretend this is it. Smoke, building back up. Daniel with the 3-bet. We're using it. We're just going to... No, we should wait. We're going to wait. Well, I'm not going to blow my load quite yet. We're going to wait. We're definitely going to wait. So 3-bet gets called. King deuce deuce board. Daniel quarter pots it. Doug Polk maybe calls here. Backdoor straight draw, backdoor spade draw in his hand. Ace highs too, potentially.
Yeah.
Calm down. Don't get warmed up by the chat.
I'm looking at these effects, and I would like to see what they are, but we need...
You really want to see what it is, don't
I
you?
do.
Well, this probably won't be it, but...
So the ace-x turn, Daniel's going to have some checks and some big bets, too, because he wants to lower the stack to pot. He has ace-kings in range, and he's going to have his bluffs like queen-jack, jack-10, flush draws, things of that nature.
Okay. Well, Daniel does go ahead and do that, Landon. 2/3 pot, 9,200 into 12.3K. Doug Polk calls. River is the 4, and we could see something here. Full houses are in range for both players. Flush is in range for both players.
It's hard for Doug to have a boat.
Let me be ambitious, okay?
This is my dream.
Let me be ambitious. I want to play the great. He goes all in. He can snap calls.
He has the jack. There it is. Negreanu bluff. There it is.
Doug Polk
Let's go.
is on fire. He's on fire. Doug Polk, the fireman is starting. Wait a second. We got to wash that rain out, Landon. Put the rain down. The rain's coming in right now. The rain's in. The smoke goes away. Doug Polk, the thunder goes started, and Doug Polk wins a $100,000 pot.
So I'm going to be...
Daniel Negreanu is
Whoa!
caught speeding
He's
in
caught
the car.
speeding. He's
The
doing
car's
donuts.
going around.
Oh, shit. Old man speeding.
Puts in 100. No. Doug Polk says, get out of the way, son. Just like that.
Yo, this is amazing. Is this new? Yeah. Did they see that before? Or is this the first time? Is this the first time? Is this the first time?
Boom! Welcome!
Is this the first
greatest graphics show in the poker history? Okay?
Is that the first time anyone saw that?
That sequence of events was just debuted right now.
Let's fucking go, baby! Get the let's go. That's amazing.
That's my horn moment, baby. Honk that horn. Doug Polk takes down the $100,000 pot. Back it up, Bill.
Dare I say GTO?
Dare I say that graphic sequence gets the GTO, boom, 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 doom, doom, stamp of approval. Let's go.
I'm gonna be so the Jack 4 on the river should be a check for sure.
But yeah, Perkins playing 25,000 hands. I mean, that's gonna be I don't see him.
He still has the challenge with Galfond.
That's what I'm saying. Like Perkins is doing like a million different things. I don't see this guy sitting down for 25,000 hands. I know Doug is just like throwing out some odds, trying to get something out of there, but
trying to get some dollars.
He's just trying to get
trying
something.
to back up a little bit of a
He's
truck.
like, listen, I worked so hard grinding these streets for so long. If I can get anyone to fucking play me, I'm gonna take it.
He's got a lot of trucks on the. He's got an armada of trucks.
He's like Sammy Farha in high stakes poker, right? He's trying to find his customers. So he's out there.
I like you, Jamie.
Yeah, he's like a sales rep right now. He's making calls. Doyle.
He's making
Perkins. Who wants to play me? He's making his calls. Sure.
Who wants smoke? His
sales team uses an unorthodox strategy of doing it on Twitter,
and roasting
them and putting your opponents down. A little weird.
Some gaslighting going on.
Yeah, it is strange, but you know what?
He's going to gaslight his way to the bank.
That's what the champions do as he backs up that
truck.
That's
the champ.
The champ. Left-hand side, Doug Polk check raises, gets called. Well, that's a big pot here. Check raise. Daniel calls. Turn. Doug bets big. Daniel calls. Daniel certainly could have a top pair. King, queen, ace, queen, queen, jack. Going to have some 9, 10, 6, 7 type hands like that as well, too. Maybe an 8.
All in.
Go!
Daniel with the 2 pair. Please tell me we have something for this.
Daniel.
No,
with the call. The truck driver is coming off the station. The truck blows out a tire.
We need the splash dance. You
don't critique the graphics while they're happening, Landon. You embrace the graphic. Aye.
I love it.
Daniel Negreanu. Massive pot goes his way as Doug Polk takes that 9-10, turns it into a bluff. And Daniel makes the call with the queen. He does not want to lay down that top pair. He knows Doug Polk capable of getting out of line. Two pair? Okay.
In this master class,
of course not.
I'm going to share things that I've actually never shared.
You get to dance
before.
to music.
For example, I look at a guy and say,
You've got King 9. Nice hand.
You're a sick human.
By Daniel Negreanu.
You're a sick human. The young man was caught speeding.
Left-hand side, we are deep once again.
It's going to be a big year.
Daniel, 3 bets. Pretty large size, 4, 5, 6 board, 2 clubs. Usually a board better for the out of position. Or I'm sorry, for the in position 3-bet caller. Dean eggs this deep. Don't know how many. Is he 3-betting 7-8?
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
And he does bet big, 6,400 to 8,500.
He's doing this. So at some point, Doug is going to have a call that connects with the 6-5-4, and it might be a big pot. That's what I got.
Well,
10 of clubs, good for Doug.
The smoke feels something here.
Some rising smoke.
The truck feels like it might be coming over pair versus flush.
Daniel can do a lot of checking on this turn. There's a small betting, which makes sense because Doug's going to connect more with this card, but Daniel's also going to want to value bet some flushes himself, and then he's going to have the nut flush blocker and things of that nature too.
Well, we got a little fire brewing right now.
So as they say, we will see.
Here we go, guys. 50,000 behind, $30,000 pot.
Daniel could go for a polarizing all in here.
No, he's not shoving all in. He's not shoving all in here.
He might.
There's no chance Daniel Negreanu is going, unless he's got a flush. He's never showing down a bluff here as an all in. Especially after earlier bluffing getting called. 22,000. Daniel Negreanu says he's got a strong hand.
That is a hefty bet right there.
Can Doug Polk find the right exit with his truck here and make this call? $22,000. Daniel Negreanu 3-bet pre-flop, bet the flop, bet the turn, bets the river, saying he's got a flush, overpair, aces, kings. Could have a bluff too. 1 club in his hand. Quite possible. Doug Polk thinking about what to do. What's the weakest hand he calls here with? Maybe a 10?
Maybe a 9 or a 6 with a nice blocker.
Okay.
But it's going to be very hard to have hands like that. But like a 9 would make some sense. Like an 8-9 that picks up equity. But
so, yeah,
for like one of his weaker
call.
hands. He could call it ace high here sometimes too.
Interesting. Okay.
Like nut flush blocker kind of things that if he doesn't want to jam himself. But it's weird, you know? There's some very non-intuitive calls in spots like this in heads up where like you call with some ace high hands.
Well.
And you sort of live with it.
Will we see Doug Polk make that light call? Maybe a 9, maybe an ace high. Daniel's telling me he's got a strong hand. He's the old man getting on a line with a sports car. He's the Mustang. He calls pocket
Kings.
kings for Daniel Negreanu. Nice hand by Daniel.
He has the boys.
You need to
That's
understand that everything
big.
you do at the
Doug
poker
tanks
table
down
conveys
forever.
information.
Does make the call. And Daniel Negreanu picks up a nice dot. $80,000. The fire. Put that fire. Come on, guys. Put the fire out. Aye. Daniel Negreanu.
fire out.
Put the fire out. Daniel Negreanu. Nice pot there. Takes it down. He's up to $121,000 on that left-hand side. And, yeah, I'd say Daniel might be in the lead for today's match. We might have a completely even match after 4,000 hands total played. Day 10 we're on right now. And
How long do you expect this to be, you think?
I expect this to go on for the rest of my life. I don't think these two are ever going to be done playing.
It's quite the prospect, huh?
That's very
Betting
strange.
more than the pot.
I'm learning, though. Listen, I'm going to be. There's a lot of these private games that play Nolan Hold'em, so I'm going to get in those games too.
What if you played no limit PLO? Like no NL Omaha, no limit Omaha. Like you have the dry nuts in a spot, you just 5x all in.
Let's pick up the action on the right hand. Sounds crazy. What kind of that sounds? I would.
It
not
sounds like
wanna play
the
that.
highest variance game.
It just doesn't sound. It doesn't sound very. It sounds very scary, honestly. So right hand side, Daniel 3-bets pre-flop, C-bet flop, that big size. Checks the turn on the 7. So 7-9, 7-10 make trips. Daniel, let's see if he has enough strong hands in his range. We saw last time he showed up in a big 3-bet pot with pocket kings. Let's see if he can show up with another big hand. Maybe he's mixing it up here. He does check call. 6 on the river. So 7 full houses. Does Doug have a 6 if he bets the turn? Not sure. Daniel certainly could have a 6. He does show up with the queen 6. So Daniel does show up with the full house. Had turned the flush draw. He 3-bet queen 6 suited pre-flop. C-bet the flop with bottom pair, backdoor diamonds. Turns a backdoor flush draw, just check calls. And
check.
River makes the full house, checks on the river, hopes Doug Polk will bet, and does not do it.
He's done well there. That's a good hand from Daniel.
Yeah. So D-Neg's certainly capable of showing up with the king here. Plays some hands, tricky.
Hand like 6-9, hand like 9-8. Queen 5 for bottom pair. He blocks sets and he has a. That might be an interesting little hand for him to go for a raise on the river if Daniel bets. Blocking some sets, blocking 2 pairs.
Crazy game.
Blocking a
talking
straight.
about check raise in the bottom pair. So when you check raise there, why does he choose queen 5 offsuit?
Well, he has a hand that can be deceptive when a queen comes, like for a broad overcard that's good for Daniel's range, and have a strong bluff catcher, as well as he's protected when a 5 pairs on the turn. Because most of the time when you think about a 5 pairing on the turn in that spot, you don't think that Doug's going to have that many 5Xs that check raise the flop. So with an overcard and a hand that does have a 5-out draw versus stronger hands, you want to have some raises with the bottom pair in order to protect yourself a little bit when the bottom card does pair.
So you want to you wouldn't be check raising like a 5-4, but a queen 5 that can improve, that has a high card in it, might be a hand you'd include.
I think he probably mixes it on the flop and then does it sometimes and then calls the other times. And he and I had quite the conversation about randomizing in numbers, where I'm a high number guy and Doug is a low number guy, where he imagines thinking.
The world's divided just like it is out there in the real world.
There are
buddy.
two types
The
of
world's
people,
divided.
okay? There are the normal people who use the high number to randomize aggressively, and then there are the insane people who decide to use the lower numbers to randomize. So if you're a low number person
Fucking
out there,
people these days. Unreal.
God bless you.
Unreal. Left-hand side, pot brewing here, 13,000. Checked over to the supreme leader. Let's see what Doug Polk does. Doug Polk bets $8,700 into 111. No, there's actually 13K. He gets called, and wow, 2 pair versus 2 pair there.
Cooler situation there for the supreme leader.
Left-hand side. Check back flop. Doug bets turn on the 7. Gets check raised. Daniel telling him he's got it straight. Could be check raising here with some draws that contain a jack in it too. Maybe a flush draw with a blocker to a straight maybe.
Yeah, of course. A 9x with a 9x of diamonds would be a very strong hand.
That'd be a great hand to have here, right? 9x diamonds.
Yeah.
Doug calls. River is an 8.
So the 8 is board pairing river, draws brick. So this one check call, check raise, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
He goes for this 80%. We will see.
Check call, check raise, gets called. Daniel bets big on the river. What's he saying? He has Jack 9, 6, 9, all in. Doug Polk says he's got the full house. trying to take a lead in today's match. What's Daniel going to do if he's got a straight? He's not folding. Could he have an 8?
8 snap calls.
What does Negreanu have here? Check raises the turn, bets the river, gets shoved on, does not snap call. The smoke builds up as Doug Polk. This could be our hand of the day. So Daniel clearly not have a strong hand unless he's slow rolling him. We haven't seen that yet in the match.
A slow roll would be quite fantastic.
Doug is saying he's got 7-8, 10-8, maybe Jack-9. The truck is backing up. Doug Polk hoping for a big pot here. Tension builds. He calls with the Jack-9. 7-8 for Doug Polk. He does indeed make that hand on the river.
That's a good call, Joe. You was straight there.
Wow. Jack-9 for Daniel. And Daniel Negreanu thought he was riding high. Turned the straight. Unfortunately, the truck driver comes in. Watch out, Daniel. Watch out. Watch out. Ah, no. Daniel Negreanu floored.
I like how the wheel is completely...
by the truck of Mr. Doug Polk. And Doug Polk gets there on the river with a 7-8. A beautiful river. A river that makes you 15 poker hard. And listen, Jack-9, not a snap call for Daniel. What do you think he was thinking about laying that hand down, Landon?
No,
or what do you? No. Was he slow rolling him?
No, I don't think it
was he slow rolling him, Landon Tice?
It's a tough call. No, I don't think it's a slow. It's an annoying call with Jack-9, but you just have to make it.
I mean, tanking down that far and calling, you don't think that's a little slow rolling?
No.
Okay, it wasn't. Yeah.
He didn't have the nuts, right? He didn't have a boat.
That's true.
If he had pocket 3s and tanked for that long, it'd be like a little bit different. But
so he would have snap called an 8, but he wouldn't snap call Jack-9.
Well, an 8 blocks more 4 houses, so I think it's more reasonable to call with an 8.
Kid Poker is going to 4-bet here. We are deep here. Pay attention, guys. $80,000 pot brewing on the left, potentially $80,000 deep, rather. So we could see a 160.
A 5-bet not all in here.
No, we are not going to see a 5-bet here.
Oh, we can.
Doug Polk, maybe 32,000. What do you think 5-bet size he goes? He just calls.
He'd probably go with like 27,000.
And that's a board of action.
28,000. This is an action board.
This is an action board. A 4-bet and a call.
Equity's running pretty close here, yeah.
Right. Pocket 10s, pocket 7s, maybe some pocket queens
Daniel
for both players.
Daniel has more of like a nut advantage of having like queens, but Doug is going to have a lot of connecting cards.
A lot of connecting cards, like an 8-9
like
suited.
Doug is Jack-9 suited for sure. But like Daniel's not 4-betting Jack-9 suited, he's mostly calling. So Doug is going to have more of those like combo draws and all those sort of hands that have very easy playability because you just get to see all 5 cards and you see what happens.
Well, let's see what happens here, Landon. $4,400 from Daniel.
Get buckled up.
Buckle up,
Get buckled up in the truck and a check
here
raise.
Here we go. 10.9K by Doug Polk. What do you do if you got aces here?
I think Daniel snap mucks and quits the session. It's a 9 on the turn.
Guys, listen, gear up. This could be
old man tilting.
This could be our hand of the day, sponsored
by Doritos.
By the GTO Club. Shout out to the GTO Club. Let's see. Doug checks it. Let's see what happens here. If you got aces, what are you doing with aces right now? If you got kings, what are you doing with kings?
If you have aces, you probably want to bet small or check back and deny. 8 river is way better for Doug than Daniel. Doug is going to have some 8x. Doug can just go for all of it here, some capacity.
You think he's going to jam 60,000?
Well, if you have a flush draw, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do on the river if you make a flush?
You want to get fucking paid.
That's true. What are you going to get paid by?
Get laid, get paid.
What are you going to get paid by? 8 on the river. Flush gets her on the river. He goes all in. You're right, Landon. You called it. $60,000 bet. Daniel Negreanu's way. Is Doug Polk full of shit here? He gets it through. Takes it down. Very nice hand from the Supreme Leader, Douglas K. Polk.
By the way, Daniel is protected. We'll have some checkbacks with flushes because with low SPRs, if you have a flush draw there and you bet and get jammed on, that's very brutal.
Wow, what a hand right there. I mean, listen, that was...
the Supreme Leader is roaring back!
That was an unfortunate run out for, I think we can all agree, for Daniel Negreanu. That is not the run out that you want to see on that board texture in that situation. You guys must not read my... Come with me on a day and read my comments, and you guys will have a different level of sensitivity to comments and things people say to you, because people can say anything to me at this point in time, and
it's true.
It's all the same, positive or negative. I mean, the positive you appreciate a lot, but the negative comments, I mean... You get thousands of them over the years, so I'm very used to anything anyone could say to me. Right-hand side, Doug Polk, big bet on the turn, 3-bet pot. Bets big on the jack. He calls. Here we go. This is it.
Yanni.
Flush on the river. This is
Can we
it.
please, can we just play regardless? I really want to know what this song is.
This is it. I feel it. Here we go. So Doug Polk, can Doug Polk back up the truck at least one more time? Throughout this match, we will find out. The truck driver, Mr. Doug Polk, Daniel Negreanu, Cocaine Dan, Kid Poker, both poker legends in their own rights. Daniel Negreanu, debatably one of the most popular poker players of all time. Debatably. No additional prize money high roller. Doug Polk, left-hand side, 3-bet pre-flop. Jack 10-7, 2 hearts. Going to go with a nice big-size bet here. Got a little meat on the bones, 6,100 to 7,500. Daniel just calls. 9 on the turn. King, queen gets there. 8-9 gets there. $19,000. We might see another big pot here, boys. Here we go.
Oh, we're going to do it again.
Here we go.
I'm very down for that.
Doug does check. Let's see what Daniel does.
It's a good
He
comment,
does
right?
bet small, 4,000 into 20,000.
It's a good comment right there.
How will Doug Polk react to this small bet? If you got a hand like a kings, aces, you're not happy about it, but you're not folding. Doug does call ace on the turn, or on the river rather.
King, queen still.
King, queen, definitely the best hand here, Landon. Both players capable of showing up with that.
Let's find out.
Daniel with a very
Whoa.
5,600, huh? What is that about? What is that about? What do you make of that, Landon?
We're gonna wait to see what Doug has to say about it. Daniel has the
has
the straight. He went for the
6,
tricky
8.
little. Doug pays for these small bets on the river, so I'm gonna have it this time. He's gonna pay me. That's what that was right there.
Is this our first 5-bet? Is this it? Is this? No, this isn't it. Calls.
Queen 4-3, really good for Daniel. Daniel's gonna have the overpairs here. He's gonna have the ace queen. He's gonna have the king queen offs, ace queen offs. Doug's gonna have more of like the 10s, jacks, 9s, 8s. But Doug is also going to have hands like 5-6 suited, 6-7 suited that do connect in some way. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some raises here.
Quarter from Daniel.
I expect to see a quarter pot.
There we go.
There
Quarter, 44. How will the supreme leader, Douglas K. Polk, react to this? Last time we saw a little check raise to 10.9K. Will we see that again? He does call. Jack on the turn. Queen, jack, 2-pair improves.
Jack's quite good for Doug. It's also good for Daniel because he picks up some equity with his ace-king hands.
Is that many bets again? Is he going small again?
I think a small
Are we going
bet.
quarter again here?
I would not bet anything more than quarter pot.
Well,
there he goes.
He agrees with you, buddy. Here we go. $6,000 bet. If you get check raised and you got an overpair here, you're not happy about it.
You just call it off. And
you just call it off and pray. Doug could have turned a backdoor flush draw here. He does call 5 on the river. And anyone's guess here what happens. It could be an all
jams, I want a sound effect for Daniel. If this Daniel drove the action, you should probably get the master class. Dun, dun, dun. Let's do it.
You need to understand that everything you do at the poker table conveys information.
Doug he gives up the ace king. He gives up the
Doug,
ace king.
pocket 6s, check called flop, check called turn. Is that a standard hand right there, Kid Landon?
That's a pretty interesting turn call, I think. I think turn is pretty indifferent. He probably rolled a pretty high number. For him, it's a low number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, mostly going to want to be folding turn, I'm assuming. Some continues sometimes. If you look at the chat, they know about cat jam.
They know about cat jam.
Yeah, look at it. Cat jam.
Cat jam.
Cat. You just gotta just bump
Whatever
your head
you
like
say,
this.
Buddy, whatever you say. Hey, whatever you say.
See, look, cat jam. Shout out to button clicker. he and I just send each other that emote every time. It's just that's our like what's up. It's just cat jam. Just
feels like a father talking to his son right now, and his son's like, "You seen that new cat jam emote?" And I'm like,
yeah,
"What are you talking about, buddy?"
Fucking cat jam.
Okay. Right hand side, Doug Polk goes for the bet, checks back flop, bets the turn, bets 2/3 on the river. Is going to show up here with some 8s. What's his weakest hand value for value? Maybe a 7, maybe not. Strong 7. Daniel Check raises him, gets called. Doug backdoor straights it.
No,
Daniel
not backdoor straight,
shows down the
regular
king
straight,
9. Oh, regular straight. Didn't even spot it there. The hidden straight. That's a very
The
hand.
sneaky straight.
I haven't called a hand wrong in about 25 years. And by that I mean, Nolan Holmes just weird. I'm better at seeing PLO hands, man.
Daniel blocked a straight again.
So Daniel went for it. Who says Daniel Negreanu does not have moves? I don't know. Right-hand side 3-bet by Daniel Negreanu. Checks the bop. Left-hand side, our first overbet in a 3-bet pot. Doug Polk, 3-bets pre-flop. Overbets the Jack 9-3.
Yeah, this is a board you want to do a lot of overbetting on.
Well, he does
It's a really
get called.
good card for Daniel. It's really good for Daniel.
7 of diamonds. 8-10 gets there. Straight gets there. Flush gets there as well, too. Daniel's certainly capable of having both of those hands.
Yep.
Uh-oh, right-hand side check raise from Daniel in the 3-bet pot. Queen, queen, 7. Daniel Negreanu saying he's got a queen.
Or pocket 7s for bottom boat, unblocking the queen X calls.
He gets called left-hand side. Daniel's going to bet $5,200. So Doug overbet the flop. Checks the turn. Right-hand side, Daniel check raises, gets called, checks turn. Left-hand side, Doug check calls. Could have a flush, could have an overpair.
Daniel could stick all of the dollars in the middle right
Will
here.
Daniel Negreanu pot-size bet here, Landon? You're
Get
right.
the music, get the music, get the music.
Doug
No.
shows down King Jack. Daniel does not have the heart to go for it. Right-hand side, check raise by Daniel.
Or he just didn't have the combo, which is also very reasonable.
Check the turn.
This is a big pot here on the left.
Huge pot here
Right,
brewing, guys.
Right, sorry, right.
Huge pot brewing. 49,000 in the middle, 40,000 behind. D-Negs, check raises flop, check calls turn. What does this man have? Doug Polk, does he have a queen? We will find out here. Will the truck back up? This would be a huge hand
He could have a hand like King 10
to finish
suited.
this session out on, my
King
friends.
10 suited, 8-9 suited. Hands like that.
Putting the rain on Daniel Negreanu here. Doug's all in.
Yeah.
What could Daniel be
Get
thinking
the-
about
get
here?
the
Does he
music,
have a
get the music,
queen?
get the music, get the music.
Does he have a queen?
Get the music. Yeah, that one.
Does Daniel have a queen here? What does he have?
I don't really care what he has. I want to see a call so we can do the dance.
He's thinking about it. He's in the tank. Queen 10. Queen 8. Maybe a jack.
Please, please, I want to dance.
Ace jack.
I want to dance so bad.
Daniel's in the tank. This would be a huge pot. Maybe he has got quads. He's giving them the old slowly.
The slow rolly.
Queen 5.
He wouldn't check raise flop with quads though.
And he does fold. Doug Polk takes down a nice pot there from Daniel Negreanu. Puts the pressure on him.
The rain worked.
Nice pot there. Right-hand side, Daniel bets that 3/4 pot in the deuce 5. Gets called. Is that normal size on deuce 5? Like that low card, board pairing card, 3/4 pot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just has hands that have protection, that would value from protection, and that also gets value from worse hands. And it gets tougher to play later streets.
Mm-hmm. What about betting smaller there on deuce 5? Don't a lot of people think to do that?
It's okay too.
So both are fine.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
could
makes
have a
sense.
two-sided strategy.
And you can kind of build it out however you want to build it out.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Do you try to build up alternate strategies on these, or do you sort of go with the default sizing on deuce 5?
I normally use 1/3, 2/3 stuff, and then have some overbets on turns depending on what they are.
Mm-hmm. Well, here we go. Check raise on the river by Doug Polk, saying he's got at least a deuce at minimum. You want the music?
No.
Not yet. You don't think
If
that.
he jams, I want the music.
He's not going to jam. You think he's going to jam?
I mean, if he has strong enough hands.
That's true. If he's got pocket jacks,
If
he's
he's got a
going
good
all
enough
in.
hand.
If he's got pocket jacks, he's going all in here. Let's see what happens. $22,000. We've seen Doug Polk do this multiple times with this massive river raise.
The greedy raise.
The greedy raise, we call it. I mean, listen, does he have it here? What does he have? He would have a check call, 2 streets with a deuce, certainly capable. Doug Polk gets called, shows down the ace deuce, and just like that, Daniel
Daniel
Negreanu
might sit out here.
does not believe him, and unfortunately for Daniel, He's doing his donuts. He was riding hot on that table, but the last few pots after we put the rain on him has gone the Supreme Leader's way as he has absolutely dominated the truck.
Look at the wheel. Ready?
Oh my God, that poor wheel. The wheels are coming off the Daniel Negreanu comeback train as Doug Polk has extended his lead.
Before the match, Doug was playing heads up, no limit, more than Daniel was, at least openly, in the sense of playing long sessions versus some people.
Mm-hmm.
Playing, that's a good idea.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, Daniel's been playing a lot of hours versus a lot of people, and he's been in the practice playing versus people. It's come out that Daniel has a software that he practices with and he plays against, but we don't.
It's allowed? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right-hand side, let's see if software Negreanu can pull off a nice river play here.
Bill Perkins called it advanced learning.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see what Daniel does here. The backdoor flush gets in there, the 4 flush, so Daniel could have a hand, maybe like a king jack, 1 diamond, and he bets that small size again, Landon. 3,600 to 18,000.
It looks inducey, like an induce. He's trying to induce a raise, but this is weird.
Weird spot here for Daniel. Maybe the guy has something. I don't know. Maybe he broke the mouse or something with some of these hands. He gets check raised again by Doug Polk. Maybe it is inducing, Landon. Let's see if that works. So Doug Polk goes to the 16,000, trying to back up some more money into that Brinks truck. He's saying he's got a full house. I mean, he could have a high flush as well, too. Maybe ace-3. Maybe he's just think Daniel doesn't have it with this size. Just attacking the bet.
He hits him with the I do not believe you.
He gets called. Wow, look at that. Flush versus flush.
Yeah, Doug got saved there a little bit.
Wow, that could have been.
He was inducing. Look at that.
Yeah, that could have been, guys, a way bigger pot. But when you get the rain put on you by me, that's what happens. You don't win stacks with flushes. Left-hand side, D-negs, 3 bets pre-flop. Getting ran over ever since we put that rain on there, Landon.
The rain's been working.
I'm talking about
The rain's been working, yeah.
What do you make about the right-hand side here? Check raise by Doug. Gets called, 10 on the turn, 3,200 and 10K.
Yeah, Doug just has a decent amount of 10x that calls the flop check raise. Also has some bluffs like 4, 5, 5, 6. And hands that contain overcards and backdoor draws that he's going to want to stab on this turn for a small sizing. So he could stab those hands as well as not risk too much when he's bluffing.
Left-hand side, we also see another pot, 3-bet pre-flop.
Top card pairs again.
Mm-hmm.
So the 3-bet pot and he bet flop, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so Daniel's going to do a lot of checking here. Oh, he's supposed to do some... He's going to bet, which is a little bit interesting, but... Most of the time on this Jack X turn, you don't want to necessarily take this big of a bet size, because when you do get continued, it's going to be quite fearful. Now he has this weird SPR of 16K into 50, where... Doug is a sucker for a good price, and we might get some music going. Get the smoke, get the smoke, get the smoke.
Yeah, this looks like Doug has it.
Daniel gave up.
Daniel gives up with the king-queen. Doug has the 9-10 second pair, 9 kicker. The king-queen sizes up on the turn. Doug Polk was a non-believer. Takes it down.
Daniel's sitting out. I think we're going to call it here. I think this might be it, guys. This might be it. What? Look at the chat. Look at the chat.
What happened? Why are they talking about that? What did you do?
I told him to.
What did you do?
I said to show their enthusiasm for Cat Jam, but Daniel's done, so I guess we're GG'd.
What did you do? This is it, guys. The match is over. Much love, everybody out there.
All right, guys. That was fun.
Take care. Follow us on Twitter at Landon Tice, at Joe Ingram1. Let us know what you think on Twitter. Let us know what you think on Instagram at PoppyGTO. Smash that like button if you enjoyed it, my friends. Be back Wednesday, same time, same place. Amen. Everyone in the chat.